Alright guys, welcome to another live stream trade with Tayyib. Today is August 14th, Thursday. We'll be looking at gold analysis and GJ. We'll be looking at some crypto as well. So let's start with some fresh analysis. Alright. Let's see, 4 hour. So on daily, this is one thing that's concerning. That we went up and broke above the high, but we also went down and broke below the low. So it's just we have to look at because on daily you can kind of guess which direction the market is going to go, and but once it's broken the low and the high, it's kind of hard to make a judgment here. So we'll just go in the lower time frame to see what we can find. So we can identify that it has created a high. Yeah, it has created a high and has created a low. 4 hour. Yeah, there's a possibility you could just flip. Okay, 15 minutes. Yeah, so we have this support and we have this resistance. Anything break above, we can continue to push up for these highs. Anything break and close below, we can continue to push down lower. So let's just wait and find out what's going to happen. On GJ, yesterday broke below the lows. What's the week like? Okay. 1 hour, 30. So on GJ, what I'm looking for is the buys above 199, 220. Because I've seen this kind of pattern and I've seen this full move to be corrected slowly like this. Let's see. Something like this. Something like this. So on GJ, I'll be looking for buys above 199, 222. That's what I'll be looking for. What are these wicks? Yeah, I'm looking at 1 hour and it's so much cleaner. You just have resistance right here, and then you have sort of like a cleaner traffic, whereas there's just so much going on here that I'm gonna look at 1 hour for gold. Let's look at Doge USD. Jeez, what's going on? Weekly. Daily. Depends how we close. Depends how we close. If we close below, so see, this was the resistance. Let's do some quick analysis. What color was my extend right? I think this is the color. Save as regular. Okay. Okay. So I think um, on the deal. So let's do some analysis on the Doge crypto overall, right? So we went up, created a leg high, and there was a resistance here on the left hand side. So we assumed, there was going to be some sort of rejection at the top. So we created a lower leg here. Now we found support, and now we pushed and broke and closed above the previous resistance. Now, if we go up and then come down and close below this previous resistance, that means that this was sort of like a fake out, and there is a higher probability for the price to continue to push all the way at bottom at 22,029. So that's just a higher probability. This will be considered more like a fake out, right? Let's do some example of a fake out. Just try to do a clear example. Instead of drawing, I think I can just make, yeah, let's just use that. Okay, all right. Okay, let me give you guys an example of a fake out to help you trade better. All right. Now this is Doge USD. We went up, created a high right here, and we came down, found a support. So we've identified our resistance and support. Now this leg here, it created a high and broke above this previous resistance. Once it broke above, the next candle broke above the previous candle's high, but now it's continuing to push down. There shouldn't be any reason why it's continuing to push down in this range again. So that would be, if it closes below back in the range, that will be considered a fake out, and there will be a higher probability for the price to be tested back at 2200 range. Where's my phone? What's this magnet for? Weak magnet? Okay, let's see. So I'm gonna show you guys how to trade a fake out and how what time is it? 13 minutes and 46. Let's do this at 14 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys how to identify a fake out, and I'm gonna help you guys how to identify a fake out so that way you can see it and it'll help you in the trading. We should do it in gold or gold pushing up. Yeah. Let's just do it on Doge. I think that would be the best. Okay, I'm gonna help you guys identify a fake out to better your trading. Okay, I'm gonna help you guys identify how to look for fake outs. So next time when you see one, you can trade accordingly. So the price, we went up and created a high, and we came down with the leg and created a support. Let's see, let's draw the support, right? Now, next candle is pushing up and breaking above this high, right? This high was created. Now the next candle is pushing up. They're breaking above the high. They broke and closed above the high, but then the price is moving down and coming back into the range. Once this candle, this red candle, it has broken above the previous candle's high, there is no reason for it to come back and close back in the range that it broke out from. So at that time, this here, this green candle is going to be a fake out, and there's a higher probability for the price to continue down towards 2200, towards the previous support. Okay. Actually, we're gonna get rid of this support because now we're working with something different, right? We're working with a high that is right here and a low that we don't know yet because it's just dropping. So hopefully we can. Oh, we have 1 minute. Damn. Yeah, we can get sort of like a bounce back, but so far it's moving a little too fast. It's moving down a little too fast. Gold, it's just ranging. I think we were looking at some trading topics, right? Actually, let me write down. I think it was 16 seconds, 16 minutes. 16 minutes into the trading, live trading, we have talked about how to identify fake outs. Sixteen. Let's do the time. If you can't do the crime, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. I've made the microphone sensitivity higher, so hopefully this time, because what's been happening is that I can hear myself on the stream, right? But whenever I try to do a clip, whenever I try to record something out of the live stream, the voice is very low. So now today I've actually increased the sensitivity of the microphone, hoping that that should help and take care of the volume. I gotta take the allergy pill. Just ranging at this time. Damn. So this is what I've seen so far. A lot of the times when a candlestick closes with no wick and has a wick at the start, there's a higher probability for the next candle, even if it breaks below, but to close and fill the wick of the previous candle. So what I'm saying is, let's see, green, green, green. So for this candle that is currently happening right now, what I'll be looking for is something like this. Ah, ah. Because what's happening is that the red candle, right? The red candle has no wick at the bottom, which means that there is no range for the next candle to go to drive further. So it's going to get exhaustion first, and hence I've seen that happening so many times where if we have a candle with no wick at the top, or in this case we have no wick at the bottom, the next candle will more likely to, even if it breaks the candle's low, it will continue to push up and fill this whole wick with its body. So let's see if this is gonna happen. Oh, oh. What do we have here? I think we might be able to break above. Let's see, what kind of volume? 50. We have, with volume, I think we should be able to push above these ranges and continue to test these highs. But that just depends on the volume. If we have volume, we should be able to do so. See, on a lower time frame, we have been creating higher lows. It's very, like, looking at the candlestick and reading what is happening is very interesting to me, because you created a low, the next candle respected that low, and the next candle respected that low, and this candle should respect this low and break above. Well, it already has broken above, but it should respect this low, break above, and continue to test these highs at 33.59. I'm gonna write that down. 25 minutes. Okay, let's go. It's a big fat candle on the right. Yes, it is. See, Ethereum has been acting like Bitcoin has, like, because if you notice, Ethereum, it goes up, but it doesn't. It hasn't been retracing that much comparing to other cryptos. So it's sort of like at a safe spot, that it's not just free falling because it has gone up so much, right? It has gone up so much that people think that, oh, it's just going to start free falling. It's holding itself very, very well. Like Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, it's holding itself great, because a lot of cryptos, they went down in the last couple of months, Bitcoin, no. The lowest it went, I think it was 110,000. Yeah. Yep. Last what? July to now, yeah, a couple of months, like I said, it went only to 112,000, which is what, 10%? Yeah, about 9%. On my second screen, I'm also doing um, a defensive driving course. I got a ticket last month, so nah, I don't want it to be on the record, and so they gave me defensive driving. I was explaining earlier how the candles they're breaking. They're not breaking below, and they're holding up the support. And I've seen this pattern a lot of times. Next time I'm going to take the trade uh, because I've seen this pattern so many times.
Now this section is on hydro.
Let me go get my phone. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. You see, because there is no wick on the left hand side, we are filling in the rest of the candle. And I'm anticipating the candle to actually go up and fill all the way to the wick. What's happening on here? You know, this will be a risky setup depending on how this closes. If the candle closes like this, then the next candle should respect this low and continue to push up higher and fill this wick. That would be a little bit of riskier setup, but I'm willing to take that setup with the low risk. Um, so let's see how the candle closes.
The three stages of a crack.
Today is 14 August, 14 August. That is the Independence Day of Pakistan. Happy Independence Day to Pakistan. That is my country. I was born and raised in Pakistan. Okay, so there's let's see. Yeah, see, it closed bearish. The last second it closed bearish. It doesn't mean that it still can't go up, but it's just not a ideal setup. We're sitting in a fat range right now. That's what we were sitting in.
Factors affecting force of impact.
Let's see, what topics do we have? Support versus resistance. Simple explanation. Actually, I've drawn support and resistance right here, so let's just let's just knock this out. Uh, I think I wanna write out what's support and what's resistance and why it makes it a support and why it makes it a resistance, and then I'll explain why is it important to identify those and how it's gonna help your trading career, right? I think that's only fair. So let's see, callouts. I think we can go with either call out or note. How about a note? Resistance equals current market high. Chat, should we take the trade because it's breaking below the lows, or should we wait for the candle to close? I think the better idea here is because there's been so many wicks on the left hand side. So just by looking at it, I would suggest we should wait for the candle to close below this support, and that way we will have one full candle that broke below the support, unlike the previous candles that just wicked down. So because there's a higher probability because of these candles there's wicks here, I'm afraid that it's going to come down and just push back up. So that's the last thing we want it to happen. So I'm going to wait for the candlestick to close. Price holding. Rejecting. Okay. Can we make it a little bit bigger? Can we make it a little bit bigger? You see, yeah, it has wicked down and then it's pushed back up. Anyways, let's talk about support and resistance. Let me just make this first. Okay, so today I'm going to help you identify market support and market resistance to give you a better edge. Let's see. Man, doing these videos is a lot harder without a script. Like, I'm just freeballing this. And I want to make sure that I can give enough knowledge within within 1 minute, within 60 seconds, and cover the topic. Yeah, it's flipping up. Okay. Okay, so today I'm going to help you understand what support and resistance is and how it can help you navigate the markets. A support is where current market structure holds the price, and a resistance, on the other hand, is the high of the market where the price is rejecting from. So once you have identified the resistance and the support, the middle ground is what we call range. So the price will be ranging there. So today I want to go ahead so today I want you to understand. So today I want to teach you. So today I'm going to teach you how to identify support and resistance and how it will help you navigate how the candlesticks will help you navigate in the market. So today I'm going to help you identify how to locate support and resistance in the market. So support is basically the current market structure that is holding up the price. And whereas resistance is the current market structure is high where the price is rejecting from. And you can learn how to draw support and resistance, which will help you navigate in the markets. Another example of support and resistance that we can create live is on the left hand side. We created this low, so that will be an area of support, and we created this high, and that became a resistance area because we were able to reject from this area. Now, whatever happens next is where we'll be able to cover that in another lesson, but that's how you identify support and resistance. Hope that helps. Okay. So we have 1 minute and 15 seconds to make this close. We have seen in this live stream that within a couple of seconds the candlestick formation can change. So we'll wait for this candle to close. And then if it closes below this support, the next candle should continue to push down. What the fuck? Yo. Unemployment claims. Pending, come on. Previous 226, we're looking for it to be improved. That means USD is gonna go up. 224. Damn. Where's my screen? that was nice. Okay. A lesson here is to always check for the news. Because if that was the case, then we could have entered these positions here. Because let me explain to you. Unemployment claims is something that is a news for USD. And I'm going to show you how to read the news here in quick 30 seconds, right? You are at forexfactory.com. You check the date for current day. You are locating USD or the pair that you are trading. So let's say if you're trading Euro or GBP, you'll be locating the news for that pair. The yellow, red, orange is the criticality of the news. So red is, I'm looking at USD, it is a high impact news, which means that there is going to be a big move in the market. USD claims unemployment, they're anticipating 225. Previously it was 227, which means that we were looking for a reduction in the claims for unemployment. That is a good news for USD, right? So we're already anticipating for the gold to go down because we're expecting a lower number of unemployment, and the news came out even lower than anticipating. That means that it confirmed that in fact USD is stronger currently in the market comparing to gold. Hence, the move went down. See, if you know these kind of things ahead of time, that the news is coming in, then all you could do is simply just place a buy stop, which a buy stop is once the price hits that once the candlestick hits this price line, it will activate your trade, and then you can make your current stops above this candle and shoot for whatever range you would like for for it to go. You can take this much, you can take this much. I would be looking for it to close and test these lows. But that's how you can navigate through news. I'll take this off because this is not what we traded. Damn. What are these? What are three stages? Okay, let's see if we can flip bearish. Because if not, then there's still a higher probability to just continue to push up. $100 pip move. Doge USD. Damn, what happened here? Was US unemployment? Why did crypto drop? Interesting. I'll just add Doge to the watch list.
How long are those little white strips?
Because the price is moving with such volume, it's okay for you to go into a lower time frame, because a lot of times what happens is that in the lower time frame, if there's not much volume, there's a lot of noise that doesn't show you the actual picture where the market is headed. But when there is more volume in the market, lower time frames can help you navigate through the quick moves that you can get and just be in and out, done for the day. That's just beautiful, I'm gonna clip this. I talked about how this candle, this next candle, doesn't have anywhere to go below, so it's gonna continue to fill this wick, and that's exactly what happened. We continued to fill this wick, and not only we continued to fill the wick, we went and continued to test these highs. So that played out really well. That's good. So what I'm looking for here is if we can break below and close, then we can just continue to move down. Beautiful.
Students, what is the 2-second rule? That's how long you have when you drop food on the floor.
Okay, so in something like this, what I would be looking for, what has happened is that we have created a low. Now we are going back to retest, and as long as we can reject this area, we form resistance, and once we broke below the resistance, then I'll be looking forward to testing the lows again. So something like this. And the next candle to or not. But that would be ideal. If these cells are valid, then I'll be looking for something like this. You get what I'm saying? You catch my drift. Otherwise, it's the cells are really not looking that crispy, right? Because there is no confirmation for sells anymore, as the price is breaking above its own high. Let me remove these. But that for sells, that is what I'm looking for. Wow. 130 pip rejection. 130 pip rejection. That is gold for you. That is typical gold for you. GJ. Yeah. GJ, I told you guys I'll be looking for hourly candle to break and close above this area to push up further. But what a call this was. Makatoa. Are we gonna close like this? If we're gonna close like this, we might be able to make take a trade right here. Entries once it breaks below. Hold on. Nah, I can't. The reason, I mean, it sure can go all the way down, but it's closed with no wick. It's closed with no wick. let's see, if now this candle flips bearish, that could be your entry. The reason why I didn't take this trade, because this candle, as sure as it looked really good for it to continue to test these lows, this did not leave any wick for this candle to continue to push down. That is the main reason why I didn't want to take this trade. But now, since this candle has wicked up, if it breaks below its previous low, then I'll be anticipating for it to continue to fill this whole wick. Wah. We're not active yet. Not in trade yet. Let's see. Merci. This might be it. This is it. Okay. Now, it should not go and break above its own high. Activated. Now all we need is volume for it to continue to push down. But let's see how this. We have 1 minute and 33 seconds. Yeah, as long as we're closing bearish, even on the 15-minute, even just like this, the next candle could just push down. So is that 40 pip range? I think we're 10 pips. Yeah. Once this candle flips bearish and breaks below this previous low, we'll get the push chat. That's where this will fill in these ranges. Okay, so I'm making the stop loss above the previous candle's high because it should not go up and continue to break its own high. It has broken below its previous low. It should continue to push down. And that's just me aggressively trading. I'm not, looking to risk a lot. If it hits my stop loss, then that's it is what it is. But I know what it should do and what it shouldn't do, and if I know what I'm looking for, and if I can get that, that's great. Where are we? We're at 17, 15 pips. That's more than enough, honestly. We were at 20 earlier. I'm gonna let this ride. Let's see how it is. We were at 20 pips.
Students?
It looks like it can continue to push up, and we might not be able to secure the profits, but let's see how we close. And that's it. That's the trade. We are out of the trade as of now, and that's why it's important to close partials. We were at 20 pips. I mean, it made sense for us to close the partial, and now it's dropping again. If we enter let's see, yeah, we would. The main idea is, as it has created a wick up, it should continue to push down because 15, 30, and hourly, they're all bearish at this moment. Mm-mm-mm. GJ. Nice. Hmm. All right, so that's that. The trade idea, last one, it didn't work out. It was in profit for about 10 pips, and it didn't go in. It went a little bit bullish. I still think that we can continue to push down at least a little bit before going up. So because the 4 hour, we created a lower wick. A very choppy session, if you think about it. This candle, it broke above the previous high. Alright, anyways, that's all for me. It was a good trade. So overall, in this live stream, we were able to identify fake outs. We were able to look at the respecting lows of the candlesticks. We were able to identify support and resistance. We did the analysis and how to trade news. We did the lower time frame, and as well as the GJ candlestick prediction. That was a lot of items that we did in this one live stream. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, take care. Peace.